All right, squad. Let's do it. All right. Welcome to the Family Camp Echo info session. We're happy you're here. You're going to learn all about family camp tonight. And then there'll be time for questions as necessary at the end. Meet the staff. Tonight you have the pleasure of working with Kristen and myself. And we threw in our all staff picture from last year. You have a number of domestic and a lot of international staff who end up staying on for our family camp season, just as the dates work out. We have a lot of college kids who have to go back to campus. So we have a lot of international staff that have served kids throughout the summer that stand for family camp. So you get to meet people from all around the world. My name is Lindy. I use she, her pronouns. I'm one of our full-time team staff members at Camp Echo. This is going to be my fourth summer at Camp Echo. Can't believe it. Kristen, you want to hop in and introduce yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, gotcha.
All right. I am Kristen Brown. You get lots of email from me. I'm in the office year round and I pop up to camp now and again, but I handle all the registration and payments and forms and your first line for all of your questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Kristen. And this year, my role has switched a little bit. I used to be at camp all summer, supporting teens, trips, and family camp. And with the birth of the new baby and my family adjustment, I'm going to be at camp for our family camp season in the fall and also this upcoming month for training season. So I'll see y'all there when you're there. Oh, we skipped a couple. Hold, please. For my cues. My computer is going a little slow. Pause. Welcome again. There it is. All right, tonight we're gonna make sure we're all aligned first and foremost with our Camp Echo goals and values. You're gonna know how do you get to Camp Echo and what does that first day look like. We'll go over the daily schedule. We'll talk about all the fun stuff, the camp activities, and what to expect from that. And then I couldn't decide to call it common questions, nuts and bolts. What do you need to know? But a plethora of information, most of which, if not all of which, you can also find in your family camp handbook and the camp family camp guide that are in your Camp in Touch forms and documents. First and foremost, one of the reasons, maybe the reason that you all want to come to Camp Echo is we are aligned with some goals and values. Our goals are safety, community, personal growth, and have fun. If we're safe, we build community, we grow personally. Those three come together nicely and fun. You'll also notice fun is at the bottom or encompassing our four core values of respect, responsibility, honesty, and caring. And this photo shows our the way that we celebrate people who are showing a core value is our core value nominations. We do these at our all meals at family, even at family camp and throughout the summer. And you can nominate a peer, a camper, or a staff member for representing one of the core values, and we read those out. And you get a cool sticker for being respectful, responsible, honest, or caring, or just super fun. All right, let's rock. Sessions for family camp this year. The big switch is we used to have 1 or 2 1-week options. We've transitioned to all family camps being 3 nights, 4 days. So you'll see those dates there. In short, the adjustment was made to make camp more accessible to families that have kids that are in school, and we're getting more families to camp than we have in the past for family camp, which is always the goal. So thank you for those of you that are gracefully making the adjustment, and it'll be a blast when you're at camp. So those are the sessions. You'll notice that session 2 and session 7 we have a transportation option. So if you're interested in that, that'll be in your available in Camp in Touch forms. Is that true, Kristen? You can indicate that interest.
Um, at this point, if somebody wants transportation, I'll probably be sending out emails to solicit interest, but it's an option on the application. So some
Awesome.
people signed up for it at the time of application.
Great. So if you're interested in that, session 2 and session 7, other sessions, you are getting yourself to camp. Carpooling is an option if you got friends or family that are going with you. But most families do end up driving themselves down around the lake and up into camp. Getting to camp. So I'm sure you recognize this picture of the beautiful southern end of Lake Michigan. But here we are. You're going to drive from Evanston or wherever you are, probably on this side of the state, down around the lake, all the way up into Michigan, past Grand Rapids, past Muskegon, and we're here in Camp Echo. It is quite a drive, depending on the traffic. If you're really, really lucky, you can make it in a little under 4 hours, but mostly plan on between 4 and 5 hours with a stop in there for a rest stop. So we're going to ask that you get to camp at after 3 p.m. Our operation is a large one, and we got a lot of planning and prep to do, and we get our staff into position by just right before 3 o'clock. So arriving after 3 is best for all of us, which means you're probably going to leave Evanston around 9:30 a.m. That'll give you a rest stop and getting you there right around 3 o'clock. But plan accordingly. You know your family's needs if you need more or less time. And as always, Illinois, Michigan, we're just going to call it Midwest traffic. Midwest construction is a thing. So do your research and plan accordingly. And most importantly, take your time and get there safely. We would love if you could arrive before 6 o'clock. So between 3 and 6, get settled before dinner at 6:15. We'll hold dinner until 7:30, but if you feel like you're going to arrive later than that, please make sure you make a stop either locally in Fremont. There's plenty of fast food stops or on the way. Make sure you get food and sustenance. We'll have snacks at night, but a full meal will be on you if you get there after 7:30. When you get to camp, there's going to be a big Camp Echo sign on the road, and there's going to be a staff member that's saying, "You're here, you've made it, welcome." And they're going to send you down the main road to check in at the yurts, and we'll talk about check-in in just a moment. If you arrive after 7:30, our whole operation of the welcome team kind of shifts just to the yurt, so there might not be somebody at the front of camp to greet you. So come on in down the main road, 15 miles an hour, and look out for kids and wildlife. And we'll see you at the office here. So it's going to be a staff member there until pretty late to help you get checked in and settle in your cabins. Right. Check in. If this is your first year, it's not different. If this is your second or 17th year, it might be a little different. So you're going to meet us at the front of camp. We're going to say, "Hey, what's up? Happy you're here. Come on down the main road." And instead of parking permanently first, we're going to have you come all the way to our office yurts and meet probably myself and another lovely staff member to check you in. And first thing that's going to happen once you park at the yurts and come say hi to us at the check-in station, we're going to double check that you've already completed your waivers. And every family member, every friend or family in your group has already completed an online waiver because the system is flawless. So do that prior to getting to camp. And then we'll double check that that's complete. And then you'll get a wristband that says, "I am a family camper for this weekend." And then we'll give you some more information, make sure you're oriented to the space. We'll probably give you your schedule so you know what activities are happening when, and any other updates to the handbook or policies or information you need to know to feel set up for success for your first day at camp. And then from the yurt, we'll give you instructions to then go to our parking lot, which we call the meadow. It's just a beautiful open green space. And we'll have some parking attendees that will get you parked there. And then we assist you in moving in. Often we'll load your things in one of our vehicles with a trailer, like a four-wheeler with a trailer. And we'll cart your things to your cabin or your peak, and then we'll give you instructions or walk with you there if you're new to camp and don't know where your cabin or peak is, and we'll help you get settled. If you know where you're going and there's you're at a peak and you know that you've been able to drive there in the past, still come to the yurts to check in, still check in with the parking attendees. They'll give you instructions if your peak or cabin is one that you can drive to, but there's no vehicles on the peninsula, which is the main section of camp. We'll show you a map there in a second. And then at the end of it all, the moving process, All vehicles are parked in the designated parking throughout camp. We don't have vehicles just parked wherever at camp. And while I'm looking at it, my background obviously is the same picture, and you can't quite see, but off to the left, there are two electric vehicle charging stations. So if you're driving an electric vehicle, you can get charged up at camp. And getting settled at camp, just wanted to show you a quick map of Camp Echo, the big part of the camp, which is the peninsula. So you'll see this is the main road coming down here. Hopefully you can see my cursor coming down here. And you're gonna pass where like the parking lot is, and these office yurts right here in the center. You're gonna hit the left of that T in the road, the fork in the road, check into the office, come back here, most likely park right here in the meadow and get moved in. Our camper cabins line this beautiful peninsula. We also have some peaks, those smaller cabins. We'll look at what's the difference between a cabin and a peak in a moment. Mostly are back here behind the office here. It's close to our barn. And this map is available on Camp Echo's website, and it's going to be in your family camp information when you get to camp, so you know where are all the fun things that happen at camp. Where do we live? So for family camp, there are two living options, sometimes three if we get wild, but these are the two main ones. You might live in a camper cabin. So up here on the left, that's a camper cabin. And on the inside, there are five camper bunk beds and one staff bunk bed, but really there are 6 bunk beds, so a total of 12 beds for people to live in. There's a back porch on the back porch. There's a counselor cubby that are during our youth camp season, counselor cubbies or counselors sleep in. A little bit more privacy, but it is still open air. So you and your family can start to plan who gets to sleep where. You'll notice there's an electric fireplace for our early and late in the season family camp. Sometimes it is chilly in the morning and chilly at night. And those electric fireplaces do a nice job of just taking the chill out of the cabins. They're not necessarily going to keep it at a balmy 82 for you if that's what you like, but they do a nice job of taking the chill out of the air. Down here on the left, there's one of our peak cabins, and our peak cabins are 4-bed, 2-bunk, 4-bed cabins. So this is what one of the inside look for. I think this one has some. We were looking at extra storage for people, but you'll have 2 bunk beds and some storage for your things so you can get moved in and feel comfortable. So you've made it to camp, you've gotten moved in, and there's a round of activities on the first day. That's why we love if you get there between 3 and 6. So you can do some of these things. The big main event, even if it's early in the season and it's a little chilly, is the swim evaluation. We run swim evaluations the first day and then usually the first 2 rounds of the next day, but we do ask that you get that done as quickly as possible because it allows us to know what level swimmers do we have, how we can best support you and get you in water activities quickly. So swim evaluation happens at the waterfront there, and staff can help you find out where that is once you arrive. We usually also have archery open, arts and crafts, and fishing, and some other common camp activities. You all can dive right in and enjoy that first afternoon and evening at camp. After that first, oh yeah, we forgot. It plays a little live action. You can see some swimming happening at the waterfront. After they swim, they're going to get out and they're going to hop in and do some treading in the area over here. More to come about swimming. After that first round of activities, check out our new dining hall deck. Big project that's been completed over the last year. Beautiful, great gathering space in all types of weather. Inside eating is still, of course, an option. And we have this beautiful deck. So you'll come and join us for the first time to eat dinner and learn some need to knows about being at camp and then what's coming up fun in the evening. After dinner, there's Twilight Fun and opening campfire. Twilight Fun is an activity period before evening program. Mostly all activities tend to be on the peninsula, so some peninsula sport games. A lot of families like to be in their camp chairs and having some hot chocolate before the evening events. So if that's your jam, enjoying the twilight prior to evening program. And then the first night and the last night we have opening and closing campfire. Arguably our greatest evening programs. A lot of frivolity and fun, and then we'll calm it down for some slower songs and closing for each of those events, but a fun family event. Welcome to come stay for the whole time. Sometimes little families and kids got to get out of there before too long, but it's for all ages. Okay, then the daily schedule. The next 2 days, we're going to have full fun days at camp. Wake up bell, if you so choose to wake up at the time. This is your vacation, but they're full days of activity. So we got a wake up bell for you. Easy to ignore if necessary, but you might not want to miss flag raising and morning reflection. A great start to our day. We'll have breakfast, and then we'll be asking you, inviting you to participate in keeping our campgrounds clean through a family service task. You'll be helping pick up trash or organize an area, sweep the sports courts, pick up around arts and crafts, things like that. And then in the morning, 2 rounds of activities. So round 1 and round 2. You'll notice I've highlighted round 1 as a family activity. Some in the past have called it forced family fun. And we hope that it's not forced, but we really highly encourage round 1 that you choose something as a family unit, whoever your family is, whoever you came with. Choose an activity that you can do together. There's plenty of time the rest of the day to go your own way. But hopefully you came to family camp to have time and experiences together. So we encourage you to do that. Then round 2, another round of activities. Then we've got lunch, a rest hour afterwards called Saska. Then round 3 and 4 of activities, flag lowering dinner, then those evening activity times, Twilight Fun, evening program again. And then after evening program, the fun doesn't end. We go pretty late into the night. We've got snacks and usually some sort of late night evening program, like board games in the dining hall, maybe a family movie on the peninsula or in the dining hall, maybe a night hike or stargazing, depending on the weather. So a lot of fun activities if you are a night owl. Also, great time to just be on the dining hall deck, hanging out with new and old family and friends. Quiet hour, we do try to keep it as quiet as possible. And then at 10 o'clock, it's quiet time. We got littles and bigs, honestly, that need good sleep to be able to enjoy their time at camp. So 10 o'clock quiet time. And we say 11 curfew for teens. We want to make sure that you know where your humans are, all of your young and older kids are at all times, and make sure those teens are back completely in your possession by that 11 o'clock time. We'll talk more about camper support, safety, and supervision in just a moment. What are the activities you can do at camp? There's so many things, and this list is really just like our staple activities. The options really are endless. I might be able to spout off some more after we get through this list, but our common and staple Camp Echo activities, family camp activities: archery, arts and crafts, biking, challenge course. Challenge course is like our bouldering wall. Fishing, nature. We have a nature center. We go on nature hikes. Paddle sports, peninsula sports, playing like basketball, soccer, disc golf is one that we've been doing. We have a little disc golf set. Obviously, swimming at the water. Team elements are part of our challenge course. We have a set of low ropes and high ropes, and a team elements is those that are like in the woods. There's activity areas you can go to, and a guide will facilitate your family in doing a team challenge on an element. It's very cool team building activity for your group. And then we've got a water skiing and tubing. We have beautiful ski boats, and that's one of the highlights of a lot of people's time at Camp Echo, is being able to water ski or tube. More activities, some of them require signups. So horseback riding, high ropes, pontoon rides, and then some other specialty activities, like some of our water activities, like the big canoe. It's a giant canoe that fits like 10 to 15 people, depending on the size of the humans, all ages. And then the hidden river canoe paddle, regular sized canoes, but they are we go on like a river to a little hidden river. It's part of like the lake experience. Okay, Chuck raised his hand. How do I do this? Chuck, you raised your hand. Wait, I'm going to allow you to talk, Chuck. 1 second. Okay, Chuck, I think you can talk.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Chuck, hey.
What about sailing?
Oh my gosh, Chuck Carrington's on the call, and I didn't put sailing on this activity list. Y'all, sailing. And wow, Kristen and I went through this before, and we're putting our hands on our foreheads. We also have a new fleet of sailboats donated by an incredible group of people. So you're going to be able to experience a different and new sailing experience this summer. Chuck, thank you so much. And don't worry, I do have a picture of sailing on here. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Okay. All right, keep going. Here we go. Kid Zone, and we'll talk about Kid Zone specifically as an activity for usually about 3 and up, potty trained to camper age, so under 8, so 3 to 8 years old, of specifically kid activities. Mostly we have like 3 to 5 year olds. We might do story time in bubbles. We might do a fairy hunt and sidewalk chalk. We might play with the big parachute and do like Play-Doh figures. So that's a fun one. And then always we have tie-dye. Those two, you'll see those two highlights. Those are the two activities that do require an extra payment, and that will just be charged to your online trading post account. All right. Where's my little review? All right. So let's dive into what a day might look like. You're going to wake up to the bell, the beautiful bell. You're going to join us at the flagpole. And this is a lot of these pictures were from our 100th anniversary last fall. So gathering around the flagpole for flag raising. You'll join us down here in the bottom left for chapel, our morning reflection in our chapel. We are focused mainly on stories and messages about core values and storytelling on character building. And really, anyone is welcome to do a morning reflection. So if you're interested, let our staff know. We obviously always have staff ready to go to do those morning reflections, but it's awesome when we have family participation. And then will join us for breakfast. And most of these pictures of meals are on the dining hall deck because it is the place to be. After breakfast, stick around if you can because there is morning music. There's always 3 or more fun songs to get you jazzed for the day, and announcements to let you know what is going on for the day, and some fun characters show up once in a while. After breakfast, remember that service task. You'll be assigned an area, and always keep your cabins clean. It'll help you brain and be ready for the day. Then you've got this round of activities, and here's your sailing picture. Although a very old sailboat with maybe a repaired sail, and we won't experience that's this summer. Brand new fleet. Come join us on the water. We've got ring rides for littles and for bigs. If you just want to have a horse experience. Ring rides are not a horse experience. Visiting our barn, ring rides not an extra cost. Just a trail ride is going to be an extra cost. Arts and crafts, regular arts and crafts, join us, drop in, and then paddle sports. So all of these activities that you see are drop-in activities, no sign up necessary. And we try as much as possible to plan activities for when the weather is going to be the best for them. So if we know it's going to be a breezy morning, we might move sailing to the morning or afternoon, depending on that. Same if it's really going to be a crazy windy day, maybe we won't do paddle sports until the wind dies down. In the afternoon, start off with lunch and Saska. Saska remembers that rest hour. It is the same expectations around quiet time, all quiet activities, no ball sports or loud cheering games going on. So reading, writing a letter, enjoying the peninsula, having time with family and friends, or everyone's favorite Saska activity, which is napping. Go take a nap, rest up to get your energy back for the next round of activities. Round 3 and 4. Hit the lake for some water skiing. You could tear it up on a slalom ski if that's you. That is not me. I'm going so slow on a tube. You could go biking with our Camp Echo bikes. Tie-dye is probably going to be an option. Arts and crafts. Maybe you signed up to do high ropes with us in the afternoon. And more fun to come. Usually round 4 is our tubing round of all ages. Anybody's welcome. Come tube with us. Archery. This is I think some blueberry picking. I don't think we've done blueberry picking, but we do have an actual apple orchard on camp. And depending on which family camp season or which family camp you come to, we might be able to go and pick some apples. They might be ready for munching. And then obviously swimming. We swim as much as possible, all day, every day, if the weather permits and the staffing allows. All right, then we get to our evening. Of course, dinner. There is a meal. There is dinner. And then we have Twilight Fun and evening program. So you're seeing some of our Twilight Fun activities. Evening program is a bigger group activity. We might do a big carnival, very family friendly too. A big carnival. We might do something called Echo Records, which is like minute to win it games, and you can try to break an Echo record from the previous year's family camp for that session. Once in a while, we even have hay rides. We go around camp with possibly some surprise s'mores. Sorry, Scott, I just blew the surprise, but sometimes there's a surprise. And then this is a 9 square fun peninsula game. What else happens at Camp Echo? So much, everybody, but this is just a webinar and I don't want to take too much of your time, but here are some things. The trading post is a highlight of the Camp Echo visit. We have the trading post down on the end of the peninsula in a building called the Social Lodge. And there are two types of things you can get at trading post. One, we call it edible teepee. No, not what you're thinking. Edible trading post. There are sweet treats. So you can purchase some sweet treats during Twilight Fun, after dinner, if that's what you want to do. And also multiple times throughout your stay at camp, we'll have the trading post open for non-edible teepee or Echo swag. You want to get some new PJ pants, a sweatshirt, a sun shirt, hat, water bottle. And don't forget, we've got the trading post online. So if you really want to get your Camp Echo swag before you get to camp, you can check out our online store and we can support you getting those things prior to your arrival. Note about the trading post. All of this is on online trading post account that gets charged to your credit card or whatever payment you have on file with us. So you don't need, and we ask you not to bring money to this. It all goes on your online account. You don't need money at camp. Kid Zone. One of our favorite activities at camp is Kid Zone. And one of the reasons Kid Zone is so fun is maybe you're coming with your family that you have 2 3-year-olds, you have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and you're so excited to be at camp with them. And you're also so excited to have an hour where maybe you get to go do an activity and someone else is supporting your children. This is Kid Zone. So if that's you, you can bring your family to Kid Zone. We're going to ask you to go through some like a check-in process so we know who's dropping them off, a phone number, what activity area you, the adult's going to be at, how to contact with you, and who's going to be picking them up. So it really is a check-in and check-out process. We want to make sure we know how to get support if necessary, but then your kids can stay with our staff who are going to be this time directly supervising those kids and leading them in a age-appropriate activity. Remember, those kids do need to be potty trained. We don't train our staff in diapering procedures. So if your kid would be really interested in these activities but aren't quite there in the potty training yet, you're welcome to stay. And even if not, you want to hang out and do the fishing or sidewalk chalk with your kiddo, you're welcome to stay. But it's an opportunity for you to go do another activity. And more, and have fun. So much more to do. Sometimes we schedule on or off-site excursions. Some of those on-site excursions might be a hike to our Birches site, one of our wilderness teen sites. It might be an off-camp excursion to we have excuse me, a worm farm. Our worm guy, Darren the worm guy, which is a cool operation, a partnership we have locally with someone who takes our food waste, uses it to feed his worms and create soil. It's a very cool operation, and one of our leadership programs goes to visit. So once in a while we can schedule that. Morning music, we talked about, a really fun time. If you're having a birthday or an anniversary at Camp Echo, make sure you note that in your camper forms. We want to know if there's a celebration happening and how you want to be celebrated, if you want to be celebrated. Often we can do a little a birthday cake and a song. We might be able to play, dreaming big. We could play your wedding song for an anniversary. And if you wanted to be the spotlight and dance in front of the entire dining hall, we can make it happen. But maybe you don't want that, and that's okay too. Family s'mores. We probably will plan a time where you can come get s'mores. But if you and your family are like, listen, this Twilight Fun, all we want to do is sit by a fire and have s'mores, let us know. We can make that happen. All staff, or all campers, you, family campers, will be partnered with a staff member. So you have technically a counselor. Don't worry, they don't live in your cabin with you, but you could invite them to eat a meal with you. They'll be checking in with you regularly if you need anything at camp. All right, let's get into some of the the Q&A, the common questions, the nuts and bolts, choose your title. Forgive me for the lack of organization here. I was going off the top of my head of what do people want to know and what do we need them to know. First of all, it's all in the family camp handbook and guide. But here are the things. Complete your camper forms together and early. Doing it together, it's fun to know what you're writing down, what you're interested in. And then really, really important that everybody, every individual that's coming to camp has a waiver for them, even if it's you are the adult for filling out for your child. Kristen, any thoughts, additions?
Well, this is new this year that we have an online process, so it's actually really easy for everybody to get all of your cabins waivers done. We let every family define their family for their family group for family camp. So every adult needs to do their own digital waiver, and every child needs a waiver signed by their parent for them. If you are bringing any minor children without their parents, we have a special 2-part waiver. And I won't go into a lot of detail, but we just ask if anybody's bringing minors that without their parents to contact the office, and then we'll send you that special waiver for them. So we want to know that their parent gave them permission to be there and designated an adult to take care of them. And we want the designated to adult to acknowledge that they are taking responsibility for this person's child. So.
Awesome, Kristen. Thank you. And yeah, we want you to define family however you define family. So if that's how you're bringing another family member, great. Okay, Summer's right. This is great. Summer, let me get you in here. One moment. Okay, Summer, I think you can unmute.
Yeah. Where exactly on the Camp in Touch is that waiver? Because I am looking around and I don't know exactly where to look for that.
Great question.
I am so glad you asked. It is not in Camp in Touch. It is
even better.
It is in the several of the follow-up emails I've sent. It's in the registration confirmation email. There's a link, and it is in the Get Your Family Camp Forms in email. And of course, I can always resend it to anybody. And in fact, while we're doing this, I'll get the link and put it in the chat.
Ooh, great. I just found it. Searched your name.
All right.
Thanks for asking, Summer.
Yes.
All right. All right, back at it. Packing list in the family camp guide is going to tell you everything you could possibly need and more. But also think about, like, what does your family want to bring? What's going to make you feel comfortable? There is the lugging and the relugging, the packing and unpacking of your things. So consider that, but be comfortable on your family vacation. Technology. Every year, we're going to take another step towards helping you be unplugged. One of the most magical experiences at camp that we see our youth campers go through is they get to not be connected to a device. And even our 7 and 8 year olds sometimes come to camp and are like, I don't have a screen, but definitely our teens. We're going to really encourage you to be unplugged. So this year we have some no tech zones, common ones that are posted, like, especially all over the Y. Like, there are no cell phones or like video footage, obviously, on any of our bathhouses. But we're also going to encourage our no tech zone in the dining hall during meals. We really want you to be not on your phones. We want you to be connected to the family you're sitting with or the people around you. And then in general, we're going to ask that if you are needing to do some work, whether it's on a computer, on your phone, or maybe the work is you got to check your socials. Listen, I get it. It's your vacation. We're going to ask that you do that either in your cabins, or if you have some like bigger tech needs, talk to our office staff, come up to our office here. So we're going to have a point person up there, and we can help you figure out where and how to do that. We also understand that sometimes the only way you can get to camp is if you still have to do a little bit of work. We appreciate you coming at all, so we'll help you do that. There are some locations on camp with Wi-Fi. There are also plenty of places and cabins that don't have Wi-Fi, so don't count on that. And then depending on the cell service that you have for your cell phone, we tend to get pretty good cell service at camp. There are some areas that are stronger than others, but the message you're receiving from me tonight, everybody, is challenge yourself to be as unplugged and therefore connected to camp and the people around you when you come. More information to come. A lot of families like to bring personal bikes. We've seen some scooters recently. So fun to have that as an option. We do have bikes at camp, but if you have really littles or you have a special bike that fits you and you would like to bring, feel free to do so. We do ask that you follow all of our safety practices and protocols while you are using your personal devices at camp. So for us, that means closed-toed shoes, commonly known at camp. It's called CTSs, closed-toed shoes. You're wearing a helmet and you're staying on our roads or defined trails. We ask that you're not on the peninsula or like riding around the peak cabins, that you're on the roads or defined trails at camp. If you need to store your bike around your cabin, when you get to the peninsula, just hop off and walk your bike. Right. More nuts and bolts. Bathhouses is something just to put on your radar. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bathhouses. Remember, your bathrooms and showers are a short walk away. They are not in your cabin. And short walk, I really do mean the closest bathhouse to your living space is probably less than 90 seconds, depending on the speed that you walk. If you're down in the valley, maybe 2 minutes. So plan accordingly. But we have gendered and all gendered bathroom spaces. So if you prefer a male identifying or female identifying bathroom space, that's going to be up at Kaibo North. That's our main Kaibo. And then we also have a gendered bathroom space in Kaibo Way North, and that's close to the barn. And those will be labeled as such. If you're looking for an all gender bathroom space, the 2 bathhouses on the peninsula, Kaibo East and West, those are all gender all the time because we have families living on the peninsula. So all gender all the time. And then Kaibo North also has 4 pods. One of the pods is all gender, and the other 3 have a gender designation to them. In our bathhouses, there's all private stalls and private shower stalls, no matter what pod or bathhouse you're choosing. So there is privacy once you enter those bathroom spaces. Bring good footwear. There's nothing worse than coming to camp and injuring your feet on the first day or just having really sore feet. We recommend not bringing flip-flops unless they're just you're wearing them around your cabin. Have good footwear and definitely at least 1 pair of good closed-toed shoes, CTSs. Some of our activities require that you wear closed-toed shoes, so bring those. We have been more and more focused on sun protection, protecting your skin while you're at camp, especially if you have thin hair. That part on the top of your head, have a hat, sunscreen, and more sun shirts are the way to go, so you don't have to smear sunscreen on you. Meals at camp: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks all the time. We got snacks out in the dining hall. And then at evening times as well. Please note any dietary restrictions that you have in your camper forms. We can accommodate many dietary restrictions, but if you have a question or concern about what that looks like at camp, please give us a call first. And if you think there's something that maybe isn't super common, we do appreciate a call and heads up just so we can make sure that we are feeding you and you are healthy and well for the time you're at camp. Yes, snacks. We don't have refrigeration in the cabins or like ice machines in the cabins. So if you're bringing snacks that need to be cooled, plan on bringing a cooler, and we'll have a system so that you can get ice while you're at camp. But we ask that nobody except authorized staff enters the kitchen spaces. We have a lot of health and safety regulations that we need to follow. So please don't ever enter the kitchen. If you need something, ask a staff to help. We mentioned lost and found because inevitably when you leave camp, you might leave a sock. Not a huge deal. We probably won't keep the sock unless it seems very sentimental. But things like keys, diamond rings, Patagonia fleeces, things that probably really matter to you get left often. So the biggest thing to help us out is 1, check all around and under your bunks before you leave. And 2, label everything you're bringing that you can. label, put your name in anything that's possible. We'll always try to get lost and found things back to you, but it helps if you leave with them. Kristen, thoughts on lost and found? It's one of Kristen's favorite things.
Just echoing what Lindy said, put your name on everything. We have an accumulation at both at camp and in what we call the log cabin in the McGaw-Y of just all season long. But then our friends at Connections for the Homeless end up being very happy with all the stuff that we donate to them. Sleeping bags, pillows, hoodies, you name it. Lots and lots of water bottles.
But preferably, you go home with the things you come with, and then we get them back to you if you were
preferable.
able. Awesome. Thanks, Kristen.
Lindy, we had a question that
Yeah.
I answered just typing, but about the range of bike sizes in the biking area.
Wait, how did you answer it? And then I'm going to agree, disagree, or say.
Okay, well, I said that we have bikes that basically fit youth campers that start at 8. So somebody who is smaller than an average 8-year-old might not find a bike that found them, but a pretty good range.
Great answer. And I confidently can say like a 10-year-old and up is going to find a bike that fits them. An average size or a little bit larger. And if you have, someone asked me once, I wish I remembered the answer to this. Someone asked me once, what's tire size? And I can't remember, but if we need to find out, we can.
We've had all sizes of adults on bikes, I think. So
great. Thanks, Kristen. Bring cabin decorations and camping chairs if you want. Not necessary. Your cabin is cute and campy just as it is, but some people like to put twinkle lights on. And often you'll see chairs out on your little front porch of your cabin to enjoy the afternoon or evening. If you're bringing snacks to your cabin, totally fine. Just make sure that they are sealed tightly. During our youth camp season, we don't allow snacks in the cabin. We do our best to keep critters out of there, but we understand that maybe you have kids or you that have very particular desires for the food that you have at camp. Just make sure that everything is tightly sealed to do our best to keep creepy crawlies out of those foods. Health at family camp. Biggest thing is reiterating that we don't run a clinic operation during family camp like we do during youth camp. During youth camp, we have a registered nurse or a doctor at camp and health officers. During family camp, we do not have that. We don't run our clinic operation. In fact, our clinic just turns into a staff housing. So if while you're at camp, we've got a lot of people to support you, a lot of people first aid CPR certified or above. But if you experience an emergency at camp, first, please call 911 and then let a staff member know so that we can get the proper supports there until professionals arrive. We have a modest supply of over-the-counter medications at camp, but we don't restock after the family camp season. We really want families to bring the necessary medications, prescription, or over-the-counter that you and your family might need. So just plan ahead to make sure you have what you need medication-wise to be well at camp while you're with us. And really consider, even if you're someone who doesn't usually have seasonal allergies, changing states, coming to live in the woods. Often, if you're someone who might experience allergies, you might experience them at camp. So bring those antihistamines or whatever works for you. We do have emergency EpiPens and AEDs on camp should we need those things. What else? We've got first aid kits, I call them bumps and scratches first aid kits, your minimal but necessary first aid kits in your cabins. We have more first aid supplies that's actually going to be up in our office yurts this season, not even on the clinic porch, because again, that's personal living spaces. So we'll have more to support you as necessary. And the great thing about Fremont, Michigan, camp is in rural Michigan, but we actually have an urgent care. It works regular business hours, so that's kind of tricky, but an urgent care, hospital, 24-hour hospital, drugs and grocery stores. If you forget something or need something, you can easily get those things in town. All right. Kristen, I see a Q&A.
Oh, I was mute. The question about the swim check, that's coming up in the slides, right?
Yes.
So
Pause
the question
on that for a
is
moment.
it for both youth and adults or just youth?
Oh, buddy. Quick answer is everybody. Get ready. We'll talk about some evaluation in a second. Thanks, Kristen. Some camper safety things at camp. It's really important that you have those wristbands on at camp. You know, it's really obvious during youth camp to know who is supposed to be at camp and who's not. But when we have adults of all kinds and children of all kinds at camp during family camp, we like that wristband to know that you're there. Also, it's important because it has our Camp Echo number on it. And you can call that Camp Echo number for during the day if you have needs, and then in the middle of the night if there's an emergency or you need to contact somebody, 911 first, and then that camp number, and it rings to a number of our full-time staff phones overnight. Rule of three, this is something that we practice consistently during youth camp, where child safety practice means that a camper would never be one-on-one with another camper or one-on-one with an adult. And during family camp, we want all participants as best as possible to model the rule of three. So you're protecting yourself and others. We don't want you to find yourself in a situation where you as an adult, although you are a safe human, may be alone, like in a private space, in a bathhouse with another camper. So model and practice rule of three while you're at camp. Thinking about privacy and consent with photos, we want you to take photos at camp and enjoy those memories. Just be thoughtful of who is in the photos with you. If you're taking photos of other people, you're asking for permission first. And we really ask that, like, any photos that you're posting, definitely one they have permission of anybody that's in the photos. Just be thoughtful of your any like social media use, and how you're representing yourself in Camp Echo. And wait until you're home. Be unplugged. Camper supervision. So at camp, we're always striving, always taking steps during family camp and youth camp to increase our child safety practices while keeping the experience really impactful. But safety really is the priority here. So we just want to reiterate that the adults in a family group, whether they're the designated adult or they are the legal parent or guardian, are responsible for the youth in the family, the group, at all times. Even if they're at an activity participating during family camp, our staff are not, other than Kids Zone, are not directly supervising kids. They might be leading an activity, and of course are there to support and guide your children. But we just want to make sure that you understand that you are still responsible for and point for those youth that you're bringing with you to camp. So campers 8 and under entering 3rd grade can, we say loosely, move freely, meaning if they want to go to an age-appropriate activity, like maybe they want to go to archery, they are welcome to do so. Be thoughtful of the rule of three, that they're not the only kid and like an adult there, and that you know where they are and what's the plan to meet back up. No, we're a smoke-free facility, no drugs, tobacco, vapes, marijuana of any sort. And just be thoughtful. One, of course, don't bring any weapons or anything that resembles a weapon to camp. And we have everything you need. You don't need to bring knives or lighters. We'll have anything you need. So please, no weapons at camp. And we do allow alcohol at family camp if you're of legal age to consume. We ask that you do so, number one, responsibly, and think about why you're at camp and what that looks like for your family, and that you only consume responsibly in your cabins, not openly around camp. And then if you do consume, just be thoughtful about what is coming up next in your day, and that you are not participating in any specialized activities, such as archery, really anything, such as archery, high ropes, horses, water skiing. So be thoughtful about what you want your family camp experience to look like. Water safety. All right, so I put this chart together to help you understand what the swim evaluation looks like. And I did it in terms of what the swim evaluation at Camp Echo will look like compared to at the Y. So at the Y, we've got a 25-yard pool, and at Camp Echo, the swim area is longer than that. So we've got blue, white, and red swim levels. So that's the blue level is about 250 yards and a 10-minute tread or floating. White is about 100 yards less than that, 150 yards, 10 minutes tread and floating. And red is either I'm not doing the swim evaluation, which is fine, choose your challenge, or you don't quite get to the white swim level. And water safety is really important at camp. We are on a peninsula. There's water on all sides, and water activities. We've got our water skiing and tubing. We've got swimming, fishing, although on the water, really, you don't usually get wet. We've got sailing, our brand new sailing fleet. And then around the peninsula, we've got paddle sports. So you probably will experience some water activity. It's really important that we're being safer on the water. First way we do that, evaluate your swim level. You really can do, you can do so many water activities regardless of your swim level. There are a few things that we might modify, like let's say you're a red swimmer, you'd like to go to paddle sports. We can offer you a canoe experience. You are a white swimmer, you can pretty much you can do any of the water areas, but if you're going to swim in the blue area, you're going to have a life jacket on. So we do that, and we want to make sure you're swimming or participating in water sports in the safe areas for you and modify it as necessary. Big thing, checking in and out of all water areas. So all of our water areas are gated. You cannot enter or exit without checking in and checking out a staff member. You can, but we ask you not to. It's very important that you do check in and check out, so that we know that all of the people who have entered the water area have exited the water area and stay in a high oxygen environment. So please make sure that you are checking in and out of water areas. And lastly, if you are participating in a water area anywhere but our swimming section, you're going to have a life jacket on. And we're going to make sure that you feel that it's comfortable and well fitted before you go out on the water. And life jackets are still an option in the swimming area, required depending on your swim level. But anyone can wear a life jacket in the swimming area if you would like. Yes, the swim evaluation is for all campers. And I will tell you, even our staff, our full-time and seasonal staff, do the swim evaluation. I get to camp next week, and I'm not doing my swim evaluation next week. But before it all happens, I will be in the water doing that swim evaluation for my season. Kristen, you got something for me?
No?
Okay. This and more, in more detail, can be found in your Camp in Touch account. Go to the forms and documents. And big thing is the Camp Echo handbook. The family camp guide is going to give you a lot of that information you need to know. You'll also receive the family camp handbook in, we call it the Airbnb binder in your cabin. There'll be more information there that you can read through for details. There's plenty of information on our YouTube channel. Some of it's a little outdated, but a lot of great images of what camp looks like. More on our Echo website. And most importantly, we love to hear from you. We're here to help. You got questions, give us a call. If you dial that number and hit the 259 extension, you're going to get most likely Kristen or Janine in our office. And if they don't have the answer, they're going to forward you to probably myself as the program person for family camp. But we'll help you out, and we'll make sure you feel excited, ready, and informed prior to your time at camp. Yes, Kristen.
Okay, we have another question about
right.
having a swim evaluation at the Y.
Ooh, you can practice. You can practice your swim evaluation at the Y. We do require you to do your swim evaluation in the lake at Camp Echo so that we know that you are prepared and ready in our specific aquatics environment. Thanks for asking. And then just last thing, and then we'll do any more questions people have. This number, the 847 number, that's for our office in Evanston at the McGaw YMCA, the log cabin. The 259 is the log cabin. Once you are approaching your camp experience, and I really mean like you're on your way or you're at camp, you're going to transition to the in-season camp phone. That's our 231 number. That's in Fremont, Michigan. That rings directly to camp. If you call the 259 number, they might tell you, hey, call this number to talk to people that are at camp, but we transition into that in-season phone number when you're on your way to camp. All right, friends. That's what I got for you. Questions, raise your hand. We can put you off mute, or you can throw it in the chat, whatever works for you. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes. And thank you so much for joining. Can't wait to see you at camp so soon. All right. Here we go.
Don't see any more questions.
Summer raised her
Summer.
hand. All right, Summer, I think you can unmute.
Yeah, I was typing and I was like, it'll be quicker just to ask.
Great. Great.
My 10-month-old loved seeing your baby there briefly at the beginning, but
Aw.
any tips for parents, obviously, who will have a child younger than that 3-year-old age that folks have done in the past?
Yeah. Well, Summer, I've never done it before. I've been at camp and seen it happen. And I think, and maybe Kristen has something to say, but I'll say find your community. There's going to be other littles at camp that will be excited to be in community with you. And then, ask for support, whether it's your counselor or your, family or friends that you're coming with, to make sure that the experience that you're hoping for, which I know is involving your little one heavily, also might involve a little bit of free time. Do you have like specific thoughts or
No, I think
concerns
that's it.
about it?
This is our first time at family camp at Camp Echo at all. I used to work and attend a different Y camp, so this is our first time at Camp Echo.
Cool.
And I'm also bringing a 1-year-old, so I don't know why I'm just throwing everything at the wall this year, I guess.
Do it, Summer, and I'm gonna be there, and I'll have a 9-month-old, and if anything, we're in it together.
We will find the community. I love that. I had one other question that was just how do we know like what options are available at each time? Because you'd mentioned like during those various shifts, you might have some things open or not at different times, but things are typically drop in.
Great question. Thanks, Summer. I should have mentioned that. So upon arrival to camp, you're gonna get a weekend pamphlet, just a printed, stapled weekend schedule that tells you what we have currently scheduled for all activity rounds, what evening programs are, and then like just the schedule timing. And then that's also going to be posted in the dining hall, that exact schedule. And if anything changes or shifts, because again, like if the wind's going to be terrible one morning, we're not going to run sailing, but we'll run it later in the afternoon. We'll make any adjustments in real time on that posted schedule in the dining hall. So those are your two, like check your handbook or your pamphlet, and then always in the dining hall. And we do announce any schedule changes and what's happening next at all meal announcement times. All right. Cool.
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna stop recording.